All right, so separation of powers refers to a way of governing. It's a model for governance where the state is divided into branches, each with separate and independent powers. Thinkers and writers that influenced James Madison and others in preparing and writing our U.S. Constitution was Montesquieu, a French political theorist and philosopher who in 1748 published The Spirit of the Laws, in which he argued for the separation of governing powers. And he warned against this highly centralized authority. And he pointed out that without separation of powers into independently acting bodies, there could be no liberty. Now, in the Federalist Papers, Federalist 47, James Madison echoed Montesquieu when he stated that the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary, in the same hands, whether of one, a few, or many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced as the very definition of tyranny. And so the Founding Fathers introduced a system whereby each branch of government, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial, would each serve to limit the powers of the other branches of government. The legislative branch of government, Congress, passes bills, has the power to tax and spend, can declare war, has the power to impeach. That is, the House of Representatives has the power to impeach. The Senate has the responsibility for the trial of impeachment. So, for example, in 1998, when President Bill Clinton was impeached on perjury and obstruction of justice charges by the House of Representatives, the Senate ultimately acquitted him on all charges. Congress can also ratify treaties and gives advice and consent to presidential appointments. Branch of government, the president is, of course, the commander-in-chief of armed forces. He executes the laws of Congress. The president has veto power over bills passed by Congress. The executive veto can be overridden, though, by a two-thirds majority of both houses of Congress. The executive branch appoints federal judges and can declare states of emergency. The branch exercises judicial review to review the constitutionality of laws, determines how laws act to determine prisoners' disposition, interprets laws, and the Supreme Court justices are, of course, appointed by the president. Probably the most important thing to know about separation of powers is that it's perhaps the most fundamental principle of the U.S. government. It guarantees U.S. citizens the most freedom from tyranny possible by preventing an undue concentration of power and instead creating a harmonious balance of power between the branches, each limiting the power of the others.